Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we re-looking at one of the most underrated power couples in the Bible, Priscilla and Aquila. Their story is more than just a historical account. It's a masterclass in partnership, purpose, and emotional resilience right in the middle of constant change. We often talk about big, dramatic faith stories, but theirs is a quiet, steady strength that speaks directly to the challenges we face today. So let's dive into what made them so remarkable. We first meet Priscilla and Aquila in the book of Acts, and their introduction isn't exactly a happy one. They are forced to leave Rome because of an official decree from Emperor Claudius expelling all Jews from the city. Just imagine that for a second. In an instant, they lose their home, their community, their stability, and any sense of normal they might have had. Everything they've built is suddenly gone. They have to pack up their lives and start over from scratch in a foreign city, Corinth. This is such a powerful reminder that even godly, faith-filled people face sudden, jarring transitions. It could be an unexpected job loss, a move to a new city where you don't know anyone, the end of a relationship, or any kind of disruption that pulls the rug out from under you. These moments are emotionally taxing. They can leave you feeling lost, anxious, and completely overwhelmed. But Priscilla and Aquila show us something incredibly powerful in their response. You can rebuild with grace when you rebuild together. Their story begins not in comfort, but in crisis, and their unity becomes their foundation. So they arrive in Corinth, a bustling, chaotic port city facing total uncertainty. What do? Do they get lost in despair? No, they get to work. And it's here, in this moment of upheaval, that they cross paths with the Apostle Paul. The Bible tells us they shared the same trade. They were tent makers. This shared skill becomes the very thing that connects them to their new purpose. They don't just offer Paul a job. They invite him into their home and into their lives. They work alongside him, day in and day out. Think about what their home became. It wasn't just a house anymore. It was a workplace where they earned a living. It was a ministry center where the gospel was shared. It was a place of deep encouragement and a safe space for weary believers, including Paul himself. This couple took a personal setback, being exiled, and transformed it into a profound opportunity to serve God and others. Emotionally, this is a huge lesson for us. When life feels unstable and the future is a giant question mark, finding a sense of purpose can be the anchor that keeps you steady. Priscilla and Aquila didn't sit around waiting for perfect conditions or for life to calm down before they decided to make a difference. They looked at what they had right in front of them, their skills, their home, their spirit of hospitality, and they used it. They teach us that purpose isn't found when all your problems are solved. It's often forged right in the middle of them. One of the most beautiful and frankly modern things about this couple is how they operate as a true team. Their partnership is built on mutual strength and respect. It's fascinating that in the 6 times they are mentioned in Scripture, Priscilla's name is often listed before her husband Aquila's. In the cultural context of that time, this was highly unusual and almost certainly points to her significant leadership role and influence within the early church. She wasn't just the wife. She was a co-laborer in the faith, a teacher, and a leader in her own right. They teach together, they travel together, and they serve together. Their relationship is a perfect picture of mutual respect, a shared calling, emotional balance, and deep spiritual unity. They weren't competing for the spotlight. They were complementing each other's strengths. This is a powerful model for all of our relationships. Whether it's in marriage, friendships, or ministry partnerships. Healthy relationships thrive when both people are empowered to bring their unique gifts to the table without jealousy or competition. Priscilla and Aquila model a level of emotional maturity in their partnership that feels incredibly relevant for us today. They show us that true strength in a team comes from celebrating, not suppressing, each other's contributions. Now, let's talk about one of their most famous moments, which is a masterclass in graceful correction. They encounter a man named Apollos in Ephesus. Apollos is brilliant. The Bible describes him as a learned man, with a thorough knowledge of the Scriptures, who spoke with great fervor. He was a gifted speaker, drawing crowds and making a real impact. But there was a gap in his understanding. He only knew about the baptism of John, not the full message of Jesus. So what do Priscilla and Aquila do? They hear him speaking boldly in the synagogue. They could have corrected him publicly, pointing out his error in front of everyone, which would have been humiliating. But they don't. Instead, the scripture says they invited him to their home. And there, privately, they explained to him the way of God more adequately. This is emotional intelligence at its finest. Their approach demonstrates gentleness, profound respect for Apollos, humility on their part, and incredible wisdom. They prioritized protecting his dignity while helping him grow. They show us that delivering truth doesn't have to be harsh or combative. Correction doesn't have to be a public shaming. You can help someone grow in their understanding with incredible kindness and respect. It is a beautiful picture of how to handle disagreements or gaps in knowledge within the community of faith, not with judgment, but with a gentle, guiding hand. Throughout their journey in the New Testament from Corinth to Ephesus and back to Rome, one thing remains constant. Priscilla and Aquila open their home for believers to gather. Their house literally becomes a church. Paul sends greetings to them, and to the church that meets at their house. Can you just imagine that environment? A home filled with prayer. A home filled with genuine encouragement. A home filled with laughter and community. A home that radiated a sense of peace and belonging in a chaotic world. Creating a safe, welcoming environment like that is a powerful form of emotional and spiritual ministry. We often think of ministry as what happens from a pulpit or on a stage. But Priscilla and Aquila show us that some of the most impactful ministry happens around a dinner table. They preached a powerful sermon through their hospitality. They understood that people don't just need to hear the truth. They need to feel loved, seen, and safe. They created a space where people's souls could rest and be restored. That's a legacy that is just as needed today as it was 2,000 years ago. So, what does the story of this incredible couple teach us about our own mental and emotional health? The takeaways are so practical. First, transitions are hard, but they don't have to break you. Like Priscilla and Aquila, you can face displacement and uncertainty by choosing to rebuild with purpose. Find a way to serve, even in your own struggle. Second, partnership matters. Whether it's a spouse, a friend, or a mentor, healthy relationships strengthen our emotional resilience. We are stronger together. Don't try to navigate life's storms alone. Third, hospitality is healing. Creating safe spaces for others, even just inviting someone over for coffee, has a way of stabilizing you as much as it helps them. It builds community and fights isolation. Fourth, correction can and should be gentle. Emotional maturity shines in how we handle the growth of others, choosing encouragement over condemnation. And finally, you don't need a spotlight to make a massive impact. Priscilla and Aquila were tentmakers who literally shaped the future of the early church from their living room. Their influence was quiet but profound. Priscilla and Aquila remind us that emotional and spiritual strength isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it looks like steady faith in the face of the unknown. Sometimes it looks like quiet, consistent service behind the scenes. And sometimes, it looks like simply choosing to build something meaningful and beautiful, even when life feels completely uncertain. Their legacy is a testament to the power of a life built on partnership, purpose, and hospitality. If this story encouraged you today, drop a comment below and let me know which part resonated with you the most. And if you want more scripture-based reflections that connect with real-life emotional and mental health challenges, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.